This video will cover documenting the Progress Note assessment section. Begin by navigating to the Progress Note. Assessments can be added multiple ways. The first way is to use the Quick Note button found to the right of the orange assessment link. This will open a small search field. Type in either the ICD or the description. Use the left and right arrows to view additional diagnoses in the list. If your practice has Smart Search enabled, you will see the Smart Search mapper appear when you select your code in order to find the more detailed code. When you find your assessment, click on it. If you've added the wrong assessment, use the trash can to delete it. From this window, you can select your assessment code and directly access the treatment section. The treatment section will be covered in another lesson. For now, we'll click OK to add it to our progress note. If the patient had been seen previously and you wish to carry forward the same diagnoses, you can use the yellow caret found to the right of the section link. From this window, you can choose the diagnosis code or codes that you have documented as a provider, or you can use the radio button to see all providers that have added diagnosis codes previously. For a new patient, this will obviously be blank. Click on the More Details button to see additional encounters. The system will display the 2 most recent visits by default. If you wish, select the diagnosis code or codes and click Copy or Merge. Copy will replace the existing assessment codes. Merge will append it. To add a new assessment directly in the assessment window, click on the orange assessment link. You can also access this window using the DX icon found in the Progress Note toolbar. This window has 3 parts. The top portion is the search window. The middle contains selected assessments for today's encounters and the problem list verification. And the third lower field is for notes. Use the blue expand or collapse arrows to expand the notes section or the search field. Before you begin your search, let's check the settings. Click the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner. If your practice is enabled for IMO Smart Search, check this box. This will allow you to search the Smart Search dictionary. Also, be sure to check off the box to use ICD-10s instead of ICD-9s. Click anywhere outside of that window to close. Now, in the search field, you can enter the ICD-10 or the description. Use the left and the right arrows to view additional codes in the list. When you find your code, select it. This will drop into the middle part of the screen on selected assessments for today's encounter. To add an assessment to your favorites list, select the star to the right of the selected assessment. In the future, you can activate your favorites list by clicking on the large star found to the right of the search field. When it's yellow, you are viewing only your favorite list of assessments. When it's white, you are viewing the entire ICD dictionary. Another way to add an assessment is using the previous DX button. This will display a list of previously documented assessments similar to the method shown using the yellow caret on the progress note directly. When you find the assessment, simply click on it and it will drop into the selected assessment window. And lastly, you can add to the selected assessments by using the problem list. Click on the PL button found next to the search field. This will display all ICDs that have been added to the patient's problem list. Again, select the assessment and it will be brought onto today's encounter. Additional details can be added on the assessment selected for the current encounter. Select the columns under Specify, Notes, or Risk to add additional details for that assessment. Additional details can be the onset date, specify additional details using the Browse Ellipsis button. These assessment notes can be added by a user that has permissions to customize the progress note. Click OK to save. You can also add additional notes, the risk, And you have the option to add different points to your E&M coder. Click OK to save it. If an assessment is flagged as chronic, it will automatically be selected to add to the problem list, as represented by the PL column checkbox. You can also add the ICD manually by selecting this box. To mark one of the assessment codes as the primary reason for today's visit, check off the first box under the P column to indicate this is the primary assessment. You can also add to the patient's problem list by clicking on the Problem List button found in the middle pane. If the patient doesn't have any known problems, check off the box NKP for No Known Problems. You can add an ICD or remove one to this list using the Add ICD Code or the Remove button. To change the status of a previous problem or to inactivate it, use the Clinical Status drop-down column and choose the appropriate status. Any problem can be added to the patient's medical history list to make future documentation of the medical history section quicker. Simply select the code using the checkbox on the left and click Copy to Medical History. The ICD-10 migration button was used in the past when clients needed to convert the problem list from ICD-9 to 10. All ICDs should be based on the ICD-10 dictionary now, and you most likely will not need to use this tool. The order of the problems displayed can be changed. In the far left column, select the double arrow and simply drag and drop into the desired order. Use the Copy button on the lower left-hand side to export this list of problems. All problem list assessments are logged. To view the detailed logs, click here. You can use the code search, the action search, or the date range search to get a more detailed list of logs. Close to return to the problem list. If your practice is participating with any physician reference vendors, you will see the diagnosis education material in this drop-down here. To return to our assessment window, click OK. If you added an assessment in error, use the trash can on the right to delete it. The notes field found on the lower part of the screen can be free texted or added to by choosing keywords found in this Browse button list. The notes will appear on the progress note underneath all of these selected assessments. Another important factor while adding assessments is to be sure that SNOMED codes are linked to the particular ICD-10 code when necessary. Please speak to your administrator to ensure proper mapping of SNOMED codes. The selected assessments can also be reordered on the progress note. To do this, select the code under the code column and drag and drop it in the desired order. And lastly, the GAPS button that's found to the right of the problem list is used for HCC programs. This will provide the HCC recommendations list with the RAF risk scores. Please refer to cms.gov and other lessons on the ECW portal to learn more about HCC. Now let's view the assessment section to see what it looks like. As you can see, we have our selected assessments. Any detailed notes will appear to the right. The notes section that was on the bottom of our assessment window will appear underneath all of the listed assessments. That concludes this video. Thank you for joining me.